Compassion in Action: How to Live a More Ethical Life. Buddhist Teachings for Modern Living. Welcome to the Minimalist Monk. In today's video, we'll be diving into a topic that's essential for anyone looking to live a more meaningful, ethical, and connected life: compassion in action. Compassion is a central tenet in Buddhism, and it's a virtue that can transform not only our personal relationships but also how we interact with the world at large. If you've ever wondered how to live a more ethical life, how to make choices that benefit not just yourself but the world around you, then this video is for you. We'll explore what compassion means in the context of Buddhism, how to cultivate it in your everyday life, and the ways in which it can lead to greater happiness, fulfillment, and positive change. Stick with us as we discuss practical steps to bring compassion into action and create a more ethical life, both personally and globally. Section 1. What is compassion in Buddhism? In Buddhism, compassion, or karuna, is one of the four divine states of mind. Alongside loving kindness, sympathetic joy, and equanimity, it's more than just feeling sorry for someone's pain. It's an active desire to alleviate the suffering of others. Compassion isn't passive, it calls for action. Compassion in Buddhism goes beyond emotional sympathy. It's the deep understanding that all beings experience suffering, and from that awareness arises a responsibility to help, whether it's through kind words, thoughtful actions, or simply being present for someone in need. Compassion is about extending love and care without expecting anything in return. But here's where it gets transformative. Compassion in action doesn't just help others. It helps us too. By focusing on reducing the suffering of others, we start to release our own attachments to selfish desires and ego, creating a more balanced and peaceful internal world. This is why compassion is such a powerful tool for ethical living. Section 2. Why living compassionately leads to an ethical life. Living compassionately naturally leads to living ethically. When we practice compassion, we start to make choices that consider the well-being of others, not just ourselves. This can apply to every area of life, from how we interact with our family and friends to how we engage with the broader world. Think about your daily decisions: what you eat, how you shop, how you spend your time. Each of these choices can be a reflection of compassion in action. For example, being mindful of our consumption, choosing sustainable products, reducing waste, supporting ethical brands, are all ways we can express compassion for the planet and future generations. Living ethically means we make choices that cause the least harm to others and ourselves. In Buddhism, this is closely linked to the concept of ahimsa, or non-harm. When we live with compassion, we start to see how our actions, even small ones, can have far-reaching consequences. By practicing compassion in action, we align our lifestyle with values that promote well-being, kindness, and harmony in the world. Section 3. The benefits of compassion for your own happiness. Compassion doesn't just make the world better, it also makes you happier. Numerous studies have shown that people who practice compassion experience greater levels of joy, satisfaction, and inner peace. When we focus on helping others, we step out of our own bubble of worry and stress, and this shift in perspective can bring a sense of purpose and fulfillment. In Buddhism, it's believed that compassion leads to the reduction of suffering, both for the person giving and the person receiving. When you act with kindness, you're not only alleviating someone else's pain but also creating a positive ripple effect in your own life. The more we give, the more connected and fulfilled we feel. Compassion allows us to see the interconnectedness of all life, and through this connection, we find deeper happiness. This is not about sacrificing your own well-being for the sake of others. Instead, it's about finding balance, nurturing yourself and others in a way that promotes mutual growth, understanding, and love. Section 4. Practical ways to bring compassion into action. So, how do you actually practice compassion in your everyday life? Here are 5 simple yet powerful ways to bring compassion into action. Practice mindful listening. Compassion begins with truly listening to others. In our fast-paced world, many people feel unheard. By taking the time to listen without judgment, we offer others a space to share their pain, joys, and concerns. This simple act of presence can profoundly impact someone's life. Volunteer your time. One of the most direct ways to practice compassion is through service. Whether it's volunteering at a shelter, helping out in your local community, or simply lending a hand to a friend, giving your time is a tangible way to act on compassion. Remember, small acts of kindness can have a big impact. Make ethical consumer choices. Compassion isn't just about how we treat people. It's also about how we treat the planet and all living beings. Opt for sustainable, fair trade, and cruelty-free products whenever possible. This simple shift in your purchasing habits can reduce harm and promote greater compassion in the global economy. Practice self-compassion. It's hard to be compassionate to others if you don't first cultivate compassion for yourself. Buddhism teaches us that to alleviate suffering in the world, we must start with ourselves. Be kind to yourself, especially during moments of failure or struggle. When you treat yourself with compassion, you're better equipped to extend that compassion to others. Show kindness in small, everyday ways. Compassion doesn't always have to be grand gestures. It can be as simple as offering a smile to a stranger, helping a coworker, or offering a kind word. These small acts can create a culture of compassion in your everyday environment and inspire others to do the same. Section 5. The global impact of compassion in action. When we all start practicing compassion in our own lives, the ripple effect is enormous. Imagine a world where more people made decisions rooted in empathy and kindness. From environmental sustainability to global peace, the practice of compassion can lead to systemic change. In Buddhism, the idea of interbeing teaches us that all life is interconnected. What we do to others, we also do to ourselves. When we live compassionately, we contribute to a more just, peaceful, and harmonious world. It's not about changing the world overnight. It's about doing our part in our own circle of influence. Compassion in action means understanding that we're all part of something bigger. And each choice we make, no matter how small, can either add to the suffering in the world or help alleviate it. By choosing compassion, we choose a path that not only uplifts others but also transforms our own lives. Conclusion. Living a more ethical life through compassion in action is one of the most rewarding journeys you can embark on. It's about making conscious, thoughtful choices that honor the interconnectedness of all beings. Whether it's through mindful listening, volunteering, ethical consumption, or small acts of kindness, compassion in action can transform your relationships, your community, and your own sense of purpose. Thank you for joining me today on the Minimalist Monk. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content on mindful living and Buddhist teachings. Together, we can continue to make compassion not just an ideal but a way of life. See you in the next video.